Hey kijkers van DusDavidGames, vandaag gaan we het hebben over Destiny. Destiny die op de PlayStation 4 door mij gespeeld gaat worden en door Reve. En ik ben hier met de community manager van Destiny en ik ga even kijken of hij zichzelf wil introduceren. Waarschijnlijk wil hij dat wel. Could you introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Eric Osborne. I work at Bungie on Destiny. I've been around for about 6 years at the studio and pushed into launch right now. We got our beta at our backs and launching Destiny on 4 platforms on September 9th.
So I got a lot of questions and they're probably going to be like not categorized. Going to be really random in between. First one, why is Bungie working with Activision?
They're a really great partner. So coming out of Halo, we knew we wanted to expand our market. We wanted to think about reaching out to communities we hadn't talked to since Oni PlayStation. So they were a really good fit. They're a big global partner. Obviously the work that they do with Call of Duty and the marketing was really strong. And they were totally willing to do something unprecedented, which was let us keep our IP, let us remain employee owned. That was incredibly important for us. We're a pretty independent team. So all of those things made them pretty much the perfect partner for us.
Yeah, and some games are actually created within like 8 months, 12 months, and then it's being released, right? This one took a while, yep, but the result is pretty good. Is that why Activision also took Bungie as a partner, or you took Activision as a partner?
Yeah, we needed the flexibility to be able to sort of start over, right? So we rebuilt all of our technology. We had to build up our team to go after 4 platforms. Being previously only shipping on 1 platform, we knew the Xbox pretty well, but we needed to get up to speed on PlayStation. And so it was a big opportunity to reach out to a lot of fans, but it's also a big challenge to build the studio up, to build our talent base up, to build the technology up from the ground up to support Destiny. And of course, we wanted time to really explore what the game was going to be. You know, we knew we wanted to do some things differently. We love the shooter genre, we love science fiction, but we knew we wanted to sort of think about how could we make it more social and cooperative,
more,
you know?
Bigger.
How can we make it bigger?
Yeah,
how can we amp the scale up? Yeah, we're not a team that likes to do things smaller than we've done before. So even though we were starting over, we wanted to set the bar higher and be really ambitious. And the team likes to sort of bite off more than they can chew and then really pursue big goals. So that also lines up really well with Activision, right? They like to go big. So
yeah, definitely. So did the whole start over trajectory had anything to do with the next gen? Obviously, where this game is specifically created for, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, so we actually started working on the pre-concept phase in 2009. Jason Jones, our founder and creator of Halo, basically took a small team off to the side while Bungie proper worked on ODST and Reach. So we were still working on Halo, and he was off concepting and creating the design pillars. So at that time, we really didn't know where next gen was going. So he was really just trying to forecast where did he want to go next, and where did he want to take the team next, and where did he believe the sort of next shooter would live? Like, what did it mean to be a next-gen shooter before we knew what the hardware was? And so some of that's forecasting, and some of that's just about smart design and being able to see, like, hey, we need to make this seamless technology. If we want to make it social and cooperative, we want to get rid of as many lobbies as we can. We want to get rid of loading. We want to build a world where you feel like you're entering it and exploring it and a part of it. Helped create Xbox Live. We have guys who were instrumental in creating hardware. We brought in a huge team that had a lot of expertise in creating these systems and services to specifically build proprietary technology for Destiny. So yeah, it took a little while, you know, to get up and running, but we hope it's paying off.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me any mistake that Activision or Bungie made, but how did the beta go on your end?
Yeah, so the beta went really well. I think the most surprising thing is that we didn't have a huge surprise. You know, it all worked pretty seamlessly. We did, of course, watch for balance. We've got heat maps. We've got tons of data. Every shot fired, every multiplayer match, where players went, what they did. We put together a nice infographic to sort of celebrate the culmination for players. But you know, for instance, we found that some of the vehicles on the maps were a little bit overpowered, so we've made some significant changes to the interceptor. Instead of spawning 2 into first light, we're going to spawn 1. We're going to do it mid-match on a timer. We've lowered its rate of fire, so we're able to watch and see, oh, you know, people are using assault rifles more than hand cannons. A hand cannon looks like it's a little underpowered, so let's bring that up, and let's bring the pulse rifle up. So those are sort of examples of things that we can do. I think that players expect us to be able to do, sandbox balance. Another thing we were able to do on the fly was we found out there was a slight performance issue with some of the consoles, and we brought that up midstream without players having to do any downloads or any updates. We found some issues with some of the weapon scopes, and we were able to do those mid-stride. So in the past, we'd have to do these big TUs to fix anything. With Destiny, we're going to be able to do TUs if we need to, but also some updates on the fly. You know, as players find things, or as we find things that we just need to adjust, we don't necessarily need to do this huge download and roll up. We can sort of curate the experience with higher frequency and flexibility than ever before, which I think is really important now. Like, players sort of expect they're putting time into your game, they've given you their hard-earned money, so you sort of owe it to them to keep the experience going and make it feel fresh and make it feel new, but also make it a clean, well-lit place so you can have fun. goal for us is to create a hobby. And as a studio, we want to make things that stay relevant, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to make something that somebody plays for 8 hours and never comes back to. That's not very satisfying for us as creators. People put a lot of time and energy into this stuff, so we want to make sure it's got legs. So we stopped sort of thinking about development as like Hollywood style emulating films, where there's one every
exactly.
3 years, right? And we try to think about, how do we create systems that keep people playing? How do we create endgame content in a way that we've never done before and we don't think really exists in too many shooters out there? So got your character that you create, your guardian, you can pick your race, gender, class. Those will change the way you look, change the way you fight. You can make multiple characters if you want. You can have up to 3 going at any one given time, but if you want more, you can always delete one and bring one back in. And you have a system where you can level up through level 20, and each level has its own distinct armor. We have different tiers of loot for you to earn, from common all the way up to legendary and exotic, and they of course get more and more rare and more interesting as you go up. All the weapons have upgrades, all the subclasses have upgrades, all the abilities have upgrades that'll keep you going and sort of fuel that sort of progression for your character. And you earn those by going out into the world, by playing the story, by playing cooperative stuff like strikes, by going out and patrolling the world, or playing competitive multiplayer. And all of those have a big variety of content that you can use. And then on top of that, you can go beyond level 20 and start finding really crazy exotic gear with like holographic light horns or dragon bones down the side of it, holographic capes to go after.
And you consider that being part of the end game?
Well, those things you get from a lot of the end game. So for example, we have the strikes, which you could play in the beta, and those are tunable by difficulty, but we can also layer on the top of that something we call nightfall strikes to modify them and make them feel very, very different and much, much more challenging.
What will Destiny really bring to the gamers?
I think the thing for me that's the most innovative and the best part of Destiny is the fact that the community lives inside of the game. We've created sort of a stage, a canvas, and we're allowing players to have fun in the world. So when you create a character, I think most people aren't going to pretend they're someone else. It's them. It's their character. When you go in the world with your friends, you can play the story with your friends. You can just kind of chill out if you want to. Like competitive multiplayer with your friends.
So
have these cool conversations. Yeah, we saw hardcore MLG players that we expected would spend 100% of their time playing the Crucible end up spending 40% of their time dancing and laughing and having fun. And so I think those moments of like socialization and community, we've always been fairly attuned to those, and we've always wanted to go after those. But most of them have lived sort of outside of the game. And we hope that they still live outside of the game, and people do art and fan fiction and clans and machinima and let's plays and all the other stuff that's really cool. But like being able to have that in the world where it's not just me as a Indiana Jones predefined character going through a story arc and then never coming back. It's me in a world with my friends having a great social connection and feeling like we're part of something bigger, a bigger community of people who are doing fun, surprising, energetic thing.
Yeah, well, at least in my opinion, I played it. I was really satisfied with the game. To me, of course, I was coming from a PC gamer mainly, sitting on a PS4. When I compare to my girlfriend, for example, also played it, or Paul, my colleague, they were picking it up like really fast. They were actually finishing levels within like the regular time, I guess. Since it's only available on consoles, do you expect a lot of PC gamers to also try it?
I mean,
since there's of course not a lot of competition in this specific genre, if it even is one, so if that makes any sense.
Well, I think there's plenty of competition on consoles. There's a lot of great games out there. Probably
great games, but not something similar, right?
More so than ever before. Yeah, I mean, our goal is definitely to do something new. I mean, obviously we hope that gamers, regardless of what their primary gaming station is, will come over and check us out. We'll take any gamer we can get. Our job is to earn players with great gameplay through word of mouth. We want your girlfriend to go out there and tell people like, oh no, you gotta try it, it's really great. So if we can motivate people to buy a PlayStation 4 in order to play Destiny.
Oh, I got one specifically for Destiny.
That's a huge success. That's a big investment to make, and our goal is to be able to build entertainment experiences that are worthy of that. We're not cognizant, or we are cognizant of the fact that we can't rely on our legacy to sell copies of Destiny. We have to sell them like by word of mouth. We have to. That's why the beta was really important to us, because you can market it all day long, you build big trailers all day long, and those will reach fans and excite people. But people playing the game and telling their friend like, no, it's really fun, that's so huge. So it's sort of scary to put it out there that way, But it's so important for us to start that conversation about what Destiny is. And, I don't know, and I hope there's a lot of people out there that have multiple consoles, you know, PC and PlayStation 4 or Xbox that'll come over and play.
Well, I think the market is big enough for it already. Alright, so the game is coming out September 9th.
Yep.
What will be the most proudest thing that could happen once it's launched, like a weekend? What would really define, like, yeah, we did something really good? Would it be the player feedback or something?
I mean, it's all of that. It'll be sales, it'll be player feedback, it'll be seeing people make things. I think when you find maker communities, whether it's Let's Plays or whether it's machinima, whether it's dance videos, funny videos, screenshots, that really tells you that it's resonating, right? And then my job becomes less about like how do I motivate people to purchase the game and try it out for the first time. It's more about how do I share those player stories with other people
and let them keep playing.
How do I give
like,
them? How do I take our
possible,
megaphone and give it to them and let them tell other people? You know, like putting them on our website or our blog and social networking. It's such a joy. I mean, I missed that from the Halo era when we had a game that was out there. You know, like the marketing's fun, telling the story's fun, coming to Gamescom is fun, but it's so much more fun to put the controller and the control really in the player's hands and say,
show their reaction.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, man.
9 september komt hij dus uit, Destiny. Je kan hem spelen op de Xbox of op de PlayStation 4. Ik doe het zelf op de PlayStation 4. Heb je de beelden gezien? Heb je misschien de beta gespeeld? Laat even in de reacties achter. Geef deze video even een like en abonneer even op DusDavidGames. Ik ben heel benieuwd wat jullie van Destiny vinden. Ik vind het heel erg tof. Het wordt een beetje vechten tussen Revé en mij wie op de PlayStation 4 mag. Laat je.